You know that feeling. When a man says all the right things but something feels off. He gives just enough to keep you hooked, but never enough to feel safe. One day he's into you, the next, ice cold. You're left wondering, is it me? Did I do something wrong? Let me tell you something, loud and clear. You are not the problem. The game is. Carl Jung once said, people will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own soul, and that includes manipulating others to escape their own emotional wounds. If you've ever dealt with a man who plays mind games, this isn't just a dating issue. It's a psychological war, and it's time you learned how to win it. In this video, we're going deep into the 10 ways to outsmart any man playing games with your heart, using the razor-sharp wisdom of Carl Jung. Let's begin. 1. Spot the shadow self. Jung taught us about the shadow self, the part of the psyche that contains all the traits we repress, deny, or disown. Guess what? Most emotional games men play are projections of their own unhealed shadows. He ghosts you. Maybe he fears abandonment. He gaslights you. He's hiding insecurity. He flirts with others in front of you. He's starving for control. You need to stop taking it personally. Instead, start analyzing. What part of himself is he trying to hide or project onto me? Men who haven't faced their own shadow will try to manipulate you into carrying it for them, but you don't have to. Once you spot the pattern, you can step away. Don't argue with it. Don't try to fix it. Just observe and disengage. 2. Withdraw the narcissistic supply. Some men are emotional vampires. They feed off your attention, your love, your approval, not because they value it, but because they need it to feel powerful. This is what Jung would call a fractured ego that's inflated, not integrated. It's all surface, all mask, and it's deeply insecure. When you notice this behavior, love bombing followed by cold withdrawal, breadcrumbing, or subtle devaluation, your best move isn't to confront. It's to cut off the supply. Silence, emotional neutrality, pulling your energy back. It will shock him, not because he misses you, but because the control is slipping. He will panic. He will test. But you don't flinch. The moment you stop feeding his need for emotional control, he has to confront his emptiness. And that's where your power lies. 3. Mirror, don't absorb. Emotional manipulation works best when you absorb the other person's chaos. That's how you end up anxious, overthinking, or questioning your worth. Jung believed in the concept of mirroring, not just as a therapy tool, but as a spiritual defense mechanism. When a man plays games, reflect his energy back, but with awareness, not emotion. He's cold. Be cool too, but calm, not bitter. He pulls back. You lean into yourself, not after him. He tests you. Let him, and show no reaction. This isn't about being passive-aggressive. It's about staying emotionally sovereign. When you mirror rather than absorb, you become unshakable. And here's the truth. Men lose interest in women they can emotionally manipulate and gain respect for the ones they can't shake. Let him feel the futility of his games. You're not here to react. You're not here to entertain his insecurities. You're here to evolve. 4. Recognize the Animus projection. Carl Jung introduced the concept of the Animus, the unconscious masculine side within every woman. It's your inner image of the man, shaped by your experiences, upbringing, and cultural programming. Here's the trap. Many women fall in love not with the man in front of them, but with the ideal they project onto him. You don't see his flaws, because you're seeing your inner fantasy come to life. That's why you think, he has so much potential. He's not always like this. I just know deep down he's a good man. But potential isn't reality. The man playing games with your heart knows this. He senses your projection, and he plays into it. He becomes whoever you want him to be, until he no longer needs to. Outsmart him by shattering the illusion. Ask yourself, what am I projecting onto him? Is this about him or my fantasy? What am I trying to heal through this connection? The moment you see clearly the spell is broken, you stop falling for potential and start demanding presence, integrity, and action. 5. Master the power of absence. Let's be clear, games thrive on reaction. If he pulls away and you chase, he wins. If he provokes you and you explode, he controls the tempo. But if you disappear emotionally, if you stay silent, grounded, and distant, now the game flips. Absence isn't just physical distance, it's psychological. When you stop feeding his ego, giving him access to your heart, or even thinking about him obsessively, you send a powerful message. You don't control my emotional world. Here's the twist. Most men who play games are terrified of emptiness. When you remove your presence, it forces him to sit with his own reflection, and it terrifies him. Instead of asking, why is he pulling away? Ask, what will my silence make him feel? Use absence as a strategic tool, not to punish, but to protect your energy. Absence demands respect. It creates curiosity, and it allows you to reclaim control of the emotional tempo. 6. Don't argue, disengage. Here's a brutal truth. Arguments are fuel for manipulators. They thrive off emotional chaos because it gives them a sense of power and superiority. You raise your voice, you cry, you explain yourself over and over, and at the end of it all, you're drained and nothing changes. Why? Because it was never about resolution. It was about control. Carl Jung said, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. That doesn't mean tolerate toxic behavior. It means you must learn when to stop engaging. Don't explain your boundaries 10 times. Don't beg to be understood. Don't try to win a fight that's designed for you to lose. Instead, disengage. Emotionally unplug. Walk away mid-game, because the most powerful move is to not play at all. And remember, silence is not weakness. It's a decision, a power play, a declaration that your peace is non-negotiable. 7. Embody the self, not just the persona. Carl Jung taught that most people live through their persona, the mask they wear to fit into the world. For women in relationships, that mask is often shaped around being pleasing, understanding, low maintenance. But here's the problem. Manipulators don't fall for personas. They exploit them. The real power lies in becoming what Jung called the self, your full, integrated identity. Not just the good girl, not just the nurturer, but the woman who embraces all parts of herself, bold and gentle, fierce and soft, intuitive and rational. When you become the self, you stop asking, what does he think of me? And start asking, does this serve my higher self? You no longer tolerate manipulation because your wholeness won't allow it. Outsmart him by being real, even if it makes you less likable. Be grounded, be unapologetic, be sovereign. Men can play games with a persona. They can't touch a woman who's whole. 8. Stop playing the savior. So many women fall into the trap of wanting to fix a broken man. You see his childhood wounds, his vulnerability, his trauma, and you tell yourself, if I just love him enough, he'll change. But here's the brutal truth. He won't. Not unless he chooses to. Jung said, he who looks outside dreams. He who looks inside awakens. You can't do his inner work for him. You can't awaken a man who still wants to sleep through his life. Every time you try to save him, you lower yourself into his chaos and slowly lose pieces of your own soul. Let go of the rescuer identity. It's not noble. It's self-abandonment disguised as compassion. You are not here to mother a man. You're here to stand beside one who's already done his work. And the moment you realize that, you win. 9. Reverse the power dynamic. Here's what no one tells you. Men who play games are often testing you to see if they can control your emotions. They want to see, will she beg? Will she break? Will she stay even when I treat her like an option? You outsmart him by becoming emotionally untouchable, not cold, just deeply rooted in your value. Here's how you flip the script. Respond slower. Don't explain everything. Focus on your purpose more than on him. Let mystery become your new presence. When you stop proving your worth and start living it, the power dynamic shifts instantly. He's no longer the one you're chasing. He's the one trying to understand how he lost access to something so rare. You are the storm now, quiet, powerful, and untamed. 10. Turn pain into power. Let's end this on the deepest truth Jung ever gave us. There is no coming to consciousness without pain. The heartbreak, the confusion, the betrayal, it all has purpose. Every man who played games with your heart was a mirror, not of your weakness, but of the places where your strength was waiting to be born. You outsmart the game, not just by walking away, but by rising from it transformed. Let the pain refine you. Let it sharpen your intuition. Let it burn away the parts of you that tolerated less than you deserve. You are not broken. You are becoming. This isn't about revenge. It's about revelation. You now understand what most women never will. That the path to true love starts with radical self-respect and ends with never, ever settling again. If a man is playing games with your heart, stop playing. You are not here to be a pawn in someone else's psychological drama. You are here to rise, to see clearly, to choose power over performance. Carl Jung gave us the blueprint. Now it's your move. Like, comment, and share this with a woman who needs to reclaim her power. And remember, you were never meant to be played. You were meant to be respected.